Alright, this is J.J. Allen here from J.J. Allen Automotive and Marine. We repair marine engines and also do body work here at the shops that we have here in Stanton, Virginia. I just thought it'd be kind of cool to just do a little instructional video on how to do a small repair on a fender and basically the refinish part of it, which is the painting. So I'm going to switch the screen here in a minute and show you guys what we have to deal with here today. Okay, we've already done the repair here on a year 2005, I believe, little Ford sport truck. I had some rust here on the front end of the fender, the right-hand fender. The repair's been done. It's been brought up into primer and it's been finished out with 320. Which is a real nice smooth finish for everything, and the rest of the fender has been Scotch-Brited out with a Scotch-Brite. Basically what that does, it gets the clear coat to adhere to the pre-existing clear coat that's already on the finish of the truck. If you don't do that, chances are that about 6 months down the road, the clear will start popping and peeling off the vehicle. And that's not cool for the customer, and it's not good for you either, because it tarnishes your reputation as a painter, and that your work won't be satisfactory in the future for people. So what we're going to do is take a break here, and I'm going to do the wipe down process. Basically, because most vehicles have road grime, dirt, dust, wax, grease on them from just being on the road. What we have to do is kind of prep the surface with, there's lots of different varieties of called wax and grease remover, but this one just happens to be Speedy Scat. Transtar makes this, and you know, it's something that we do each and every time before we paint everything to ensure that the surface is really good and clean. So basically what we're going to do is use a good brand of paper towel here, and we are going to really clean the surface of the fender really well. This pretty much ensures that all the gunk and, you know, wax, grease, oils, you know, road tars, things like that basically are going to get removed before we paint anything on the vehicle, which is very, very important. Gives you a good clean surface to work from, and it also, you know, enhances the color and shine of what we're doing here. Okay, very good. Okay, we're going to get to the color part of this now. For you guys that do this yourself or what have you, basically this is a Ford code G2 red fire effect, and basically this is a chroma based product right here. Now chroma basically is one of the high ends from DuPont, and if you want to ensure matchability, you're probably going to have to go with a high end premium paint to ensure, you know, matchability, because, you know, we're basically doing this area here, we're blending up around the fender, okay, and if you use a low quality paint, basically it's going to be a bit of a different color. Even though you are blending out, the customer might notice reds are a little rough on that, and basically you just want to do a good job the first time around. I'm not saying it's inexpensive to buy this stuff, you know, but what we do is we get it in smaller quantities, which kind of helps the budget a little bit and that kind of thing. Because it is red and there are different types of what they call value shades, this is a value shade V11, which is a real high value shade, which means that the paint itself is very translucent, which means that even though you reduce it the right way, which is basically 2 to 1, which is 2 parts paint, 1 part reducer, you know, it is thin. So when it's thin, you have to put multiple coats on And when you have a light primer sealer that we have here, it's harder to hide, you know, the primer sealer underneath. So what we do to kind of eliminate that problem is we basically use another paint underneath it. Now this excuse me, is a very similar color right here. This is a Mazda color, copper red, but it is very close in the shading. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a little bit of this pre-existing, what we call in our industry junk paint, which is not junk by any means, but is a pre-existing color we've already got in stock. So we're going to apply this first and then use the original color over top of that. Okay, we've already got the paint, what we call our pre-paint or junk paint, however you want to call it. It's really not junk, like I said before, but you want to basically apply a paint, or some guys use colored sealers, but today we're going to use some pre-existing chroma base that we've already got here. That's very close color because, you know, we want to hide this primer sealer coat that we've got in here. So I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit of this on here to kind of show you that you want to use nice wispy little motions here and basically keep the area that you're repairing as small as you can. Now, what you got to do is you got to let that dry, because you don't want to keep piling coats up on there, because it's not going to work out for you. With any type of base color paints that we're using, chroma, Nason, whatever you're going to use, PPG, you need to let the coats dry in between. So that's what we're going to do right now. Okay, as you guys can pretty much see, you can still see the old repair through the first coat of paint we put on the vehicle here. So what we're going to go ahead and do is apply a second, possibly a third coat on here to give it some build up, some coverage. That's what we do here on this, but you do have to be patient and let it dry in between coats, as I said before. And I know everybody gets a little excited about painting, but you got to kind of keep that under control, and because you don't want to do this a second and or a third time, because it starts costing you a lot of money. So anyway, let me take a break here and go ahead and get this going. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start applying another coat. Nice and careful, like. As you do this, you're going to have to basically blend it out just a little bit more as you go, because you know, that's just one of the necessary things you have to do. Okay, it looks pretty good. It looks like we've pretty much hidden the old repair underneath. I can see just a little bit there, but I think possibly the original paint that we're going to put on here is going to hold up for that. So I'm going to back this up to give you guys an idea, and there we go. Okay, be back in a few more minutes once this dries down. Okay guys, back here again on the paint mixing for basically the original color coat that goes on the vehicle here. I might have made a mistake earlier and said that with chroma base it's 2 to 1. It's actually 1 to 1 mixture, which means if you've got 4 ounces of paint, you need to, most of the time, add about 4 ounces of your reducer applicable to chroma base. Now, I messed up a little bit before and said 2 to 1, and the reason I did that is because the value shade on this, it's a real high value shade, which basically means, I'm just going to be honest with you, you need to cheat a little bit, and you need to not reduce it down as much as basically the instructions on the backside say to. The reason I say this is because of experience. When you've got a high value shade, or the paint is really translucent, it's not only red, some blues, and especially greens are really very high and translucent, you know. So what you want to do is you want to not reduce it quite as much. So that's why I said 2 to 1, which means I only use about 50% of the reduction it's asking for. Now, take it or leave it. This is just my experience. I've been painting for almost 30 years, so that's why I say what I say, to try to help you guys out. So basically, of course, you need to clean the cup out, clean the gun out, because you don't want your older paint to be in the gun. It's just common sense, and most everything in this industry or anything else is common sense. So we're going to go ahead and put the paint in the gun with a nice new filter, and I'll show you going ahead and putting the color coats on. Okay, we're back here over the fender again, and we've got the paint in the gun that needs to go on the vehicle, the correct paint color code, and we're going to go ahead and put some coats on. Well, you need to make sure you get your edges too. Don't forget your edges when you're doing that, just in case someone's looking up underneath. You kind of almost want to hit the edges first. And you do want to make sure you get enough color on here, but not too much to where it runs off. And that's a very important part. With base color coat, unless you really lay it on, you're not going to run it, because it's designed to dry pretty quickly. In the summertime, you almost think it's going to flash dry on you, because it does work that quickly on things. In the shop today, it's about 61, 62 degrees, and it's a little slower drying time today. As you can see, with the color kind of blending into the old pre-existing clear right here, it's not looking too bad at all. And that's the reason for going ahead and getting the good quality paint, because it is going to match most of the time. I'm saying about 95 to 98% of the time. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up here and lay out a little bit of color like this. You actually want to fan it out just a little bit more, because you need to put a little color over top of the pre-existing color, because what you're doing is you're creating the illusion, that it basically has not been painted before. So to do that, you need to actually fan it back a little bit, run a little bit of color over the pre-existing paint that you have here, and the translucency from the new color into the old color works right well as the illusion. Okay, so you're seeing how that's rolling. You're not seeing a great big color differentiation here. It's blending right well, so I'm kind of pleased with this. Okay, so that's the whole point of doing these small repairs like this. And let me pan back here a little bit. As you can see, it looks pretty darn good. So there you go. So let me get things fixed up for the clear, and I'll be back. Okay, I hope you can hear me here through the mask a little bit, but with the base color coat, I advise you to wear a mask, but I didn't for the purposes of this video today. But with clear coat, it's very dangerous stuff. You really need to use a great OSHA approved a mask so that you can protect your lungs and your health. So that's a very important part. Again, we've already cleaned the gun, and this time I used a medium clear, which basically was a 4 to 1 mixture, which means we're using 4 parts clear and 1 part hardener. That's an activator hardener that goes into clear. You need to make sure you mix it thoroughly. I just have a tendency of straining mine twice, which means I use 2 strainers instead of 1, just in case there's something in the cup, like a little bit of dust or dirt or what have you. So it's already in the gun, as you can see here. So what I want to go ahead and do is apply the clear to the new fender that we've already done the color blending on, and get that done for you. So that's what we do. So basically, in the clear coating process, this is the part where you do not want to apply too much at one time in any one area, and get a nice even blend on everything. Clear coating basically does take some experience, which basically means it's you're just going to have to do it and learn not to put too much on at one time. A lot of people will take and put 2 medium flow coats on it, which is also a good idea, and I may do that today as well. So I just want to show you that basically once you apply the clear over everything, the color and the blending of the color we've done is locked in, and it's done. So I'm going to go ahead and take my time and put the clear on this, and then I'll show you the effects afterwards. Okay, thank you. Okay, here's the finished product here with our clear. I just want to show you that I put 2 nice flow coats of clear on the fender, and everything looks really good. So you just want to remember to take your time, not get in too big of a hurry, and you'll get some good results like this. So thanks for watching. I hope it was educational and helpful. So stay tuned for some more videos, and subscribe if you feel like this helped you out. All right, bye.